It is lovely having you join me once again on the interview segment of the Economy Today. Yes, we're looking at a very interesting topic, economic cooperation, paving the way for a better future. Yes, and what does that really mean now? Economic cooperation means like a bilateral agreement, means like a trade agreement, means like one country helping the other, means like the other one helping by giving loans or financial assistance. Now, it also means that now the country that is being helped, should also replicate whatever it's been helped to do, to also grow and also better, so that people don't always come to help and help and help and nothing is happening. Now, I have with me in the studio to discuss all these facts a young entrepreneur, Ademole Oyetunji. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Ademola, economic cooperations, bilateral agreements, very good for every economy. It's like a way of unifying countries, of telling other countries that you can be your brother's keeper. Yeah. Whatever, if there's similarities, if there are identical ways of things, maybe the climate is good or whatever is the same, whatever it is, just to help the other. It could be the same country that both of you are struggling, but when you come together, you'll be able to foster better unity. Or a country that is higher than yours, like this. But most times, let's say Africans now, African countries, Nigeria collects money, either loan, either grants, whatever it may be, financial assistance, whatever it may be, but do not use them rightly. Implementations of these policies don't ever happen. So where is our problem coming from? What is our problem? How can we rectify these things?
Well, the thing is, thank you. International support, as the case may be, that's just the language. International relation and support. We've been enjoying that. And as a matter of fact, Nigeria, when Nigeria was Nigeria, that was a country called Nigeria. Nigeria as well has actually done that before. We could see the role Nigeria play in independence of some African country. You could see how Nigeria assists some of countries like Liberia and the rest of them in peacekeeping and the rest of it. Now, when it comes to finance, Nigeria as well have done a lot of support. But the kind of support that we are talking about is not what Nigeria is actually doing now. Because we as well, we are at a stage that we need more support. But we are getting this support, but we are not utilizing the supports. I remember in 2017 when Nigeria was in recession, couple of money was given to us, free money, not loan. Africa Developmental Bank, headed by our former Minister of Agriculture, Adesina, yeah. He facilitated support for us. We were given a lot of money. I don't have the figure here. United Nations, World Bank, we were given a lot of money. Those money were not budgeted for. We didn't anticipate those money. But what do we use those money for? Maybe we need to start asking the questions. We're asking of solution, right? The solution is that we need to ask questions from right authority, ask them questions to be accountable to us. This money given to us at when and so period of time for so and so, what do you use the money for? It's support to us, not to the government officials, not to the politicians. It's support to Nigeria states and to Nigerians. But we, the Nigerians, we don't feel this money, this support. Now, the more we are getting this, the more bad we are getting by this as a country. We are still borrowing. With all the support that we have received over time, we are still borrowing. The Debt Management Office recently announced that we should not continue to borrow because we are servicing loans. And quite unfortunate, our Ministry of Finance still said they want to borrow 11 trillion
to service a loan.
To service loan and to meet with regular expenses. The question is that must we borrow at every point in time? Must we seek for support at every point in time? Because we have the potential to meet our needs, to cater for ourselves, to support other upcoming nations of Africa that they believe in our giant of Africa that is sleeping. So if the giant of Africa is now depending on foreign support loans every now and then to do anything, and quite unfortunate, majority of the money that we are asking for as loan, go and find out of all these projects they get the loan for. They are not there.
Now, are we looking at sincerity of governance?
Of course,
are we looking at the poorness on being able to stamp a feet down on implementation of a project?
You see, we have all these bilateral agreements with US, with Brazil, with different countries. We have good bilateral agreement. On the part of Nigeria, you remember recently, I think a country fined us for not performing our duty in the bilateral agreements. If I remember before we finish, they fined us. We have to pay millions of naira, I think billions, if not billions, as fine for not performing our due diligence in the bilateral agreement signed. I think it's regarding oil and gas. Maybe in the next episode I will come with that fact. Now, what I'm trying to say in essence is that there is negligence on our part. We don't. We are not putting the right people in charge of our, our management of affairs. We don't have right people in charge. That's the problem we are facing. Nigeria is great, but we don't have right leadership, and leadership has been our problem all the while. When we have the right leaders, at the helms of affairs, I remember I read it in the history of Nigeria that the celebrated dollar today was point something couple to $1. That's how powerful our naira was then. So, but now see where we are. So now bilateral agreement that you are talking about, for your information, Africa Free Trade Zone is coming up. It's coming up, and this bilateral agreement is still what we are talking about on the shore of Africa. This country will be dumping things to us now. They will be dumping, because there is free trade zone. It's a free trade zone and we have signed to it already. But are we prepared for it? We are not. Because we have local content that to get certification for is problem. Now that we create sin, SON will create sin. If you don't bribe, you won't get. And all of this rubbish. So we are not prepared for all of these things. And on the part of Nigeria, we are just giants sleeping.
Now, I want to look at first one of your points about governance, getting the right persons into all these offices. We have been getting people into these offices, whether they're hook or crook, or whichever way people have been getting there. Now, I want to look at it from the angle of that we are all leaders one way or the other. And so, which means that you that is in the office, that you that is the manager in an office, you that is a trader, that is your own manager in your own trading shop, you that is a hair cutter, that's a barber, you are also the CEO of your shop or whatever. So, you are the manager, and so you too, you are the one, the governor of your shop, and so to be. And so that has to do with the human nature in all of us and how we can actually work.
Don't forget, we are not talking about business in Nigeria. We are talking of international relations.
Yeah, we are talking about international relations. In one of the things somebody said, the person said there needs to be trustworthiness. There needs to be seriousness of purpose by the receiving, country. You understand? To show that, okay, you are giving me 50 kobo, I can replicate and turn it into 100 naira.
Okay, what we need to do, we need to do fact check, and we need to do, thank God we have freedom of information, though when we try to bring out those information, is then some agency of government will, be pursuing you around and all of this. Go and find out of the money borrowed to do projects, capital projects, infrastructure development. Go and find out what is the percentage of implementation in all of those projects that they borrowed money for.
Are there no penalties attached to not implementing?
Nigeria is a country that the moment you belong to the ruling party, as the case may be, you become a saint. If Nigeria as a country, we are borrowing, we are owing over 40 something trillion as debt, and we are servicing that with our budget that is, and one person, Accountant General, is on the public domain. Accountant General of the Federation allegedly stole 109 billion.
Let me go for a short break, and I'll come back before.
And
we'll talk more about that. Yes, we are still here discussing economic cooperation, paving the way for a better future, a brighter future for Nigeria and for any nation, especially in that level. We'll go for a very short break now, and I'll be right back with more. Welcome back. You're still onto the economy today, and the segment is becoming more interesting, discussing the issue, economic cooperation, and paving the way for a brighter future. Yes, you can continue to follow us by logging on to www.kaftantv.tv. Yes, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and many more channels like that. Yes, Ademola, we don't want to implicate anybody. We don't want to say anything. Yes, somebody has already been implicated. It's everywhere in the nation. But what I'm talking about is that, you know, these nations all around see potentials in the country. They see great potentials in Nigeria. Nigeria seems to be a country that is well endowed with almost everything. In fact, the United States of Africa. But the issue is that we are not even united, not to talk of going forward developmentally. What exactly are the points that you can raise to state that, okay, these are the things that we can do,
okay,
to move on?
Well, the thing is, if we want to tackle all of this challenge, our institution needs to be built. And you don't need to, I don't need to know you. I don't need to know one senator. I don't need to know one governor. I don't need to know anybody. When I have good things to do, I get it on merit. But we are in a country that if you are not son of somebody who is maybe a senator or somebody, you cannot get anything. You cannot get a job. And we have incompetent hands managing our offices, our agencies of government, and all of this. And that's why you see all of these things. And that's why our economy is not growing, because the best hand are not giving you the opportunity to be in charge. That's why you can see that we have a former minister of finance who knows what she is doing, but the moment she exposed what the crude business, the business in our crude oil and the refining and the subsidy, she was edged out on issue that is not it at all. Now the other person is in charge now, and you see our economy, we keep borrowing for everything, and this money is not even used for the purpose. And that's why our accountant general could stole 109 billion. It's in the public domain. EFCC arrested the person, but given administrative bail. When some people were, one House of Assembly speaker last week was arrested by the same EFCC. They charged the person now to court to come and bail them. I mean, so it's about 300 billion, whatever. It's still there. But our accountant general of the federation still 109 billion. And was given administrative bail. These are things, these are issues. If you want to have a better country, you have to have equality before the law. Everybody must be equal to the law. If it's a governor, if it's a senator, if it's a accountant general, see, in a country where rule of law is not it, forget it. We have court orders that our attorney general is not obeying, our president, our governors are not obeying. They believe they are above the law. In a sane country and a country that wants to get things, everybody must be equal before the law. We have a lot of law that is not implemented, but it's implemented for some and it's not implemented for some. The moment you are high rank politician or high, there is a rule of law for you in Nigeria. Then some selected civil servant also, there is a rule of law for them. You and I, we have a rule of law, and some people. So we have about 5 rule of law that is operating in Nigeria. So you can't get anywhere with that. You can't get anywhere with that. I think, is it Korea, former South Korea, recently the country, they tried the person and they find him guilty and they are executing. This one is not even go to jail. But in Nigeria, we have EFCC.
Is it our system of
I've said it. It's a system of. See, if you want to get it right, number one thing that we have to do, rule of law, equality before the law. Number 2, Our institution, I said it, our institution needs to be built, not just on favorism, competency. People that knows the job should take this job, not because one politician, one senator refer, and all of this rubbish that is happening in Nigeria. You go to some agency of government, because I do that. I see some people that are not meant to be in the offices, and they are there. One, because maybe they are one tribe, or son of somebody, when you find out, or somebody. See what is happening to our financial system. Because if a nation wants to grow, our financial system needs to be robust. As it needs to be sincere, needs to be plain, needs to be clear. Our CBN, sitting CBN governor is partisan. Want to go for president, sitting, and nothing is happening. In the same country, that man will have the next seconds will have been fired. But he's still there. And he bought how many campaign buses? We all see it branded. And he said some people bought the form for him. And we have, like I said, we have that accountant general is still living like a free man. And we have some people that stole, maybe because of frustration in the system, stole tuber of yam, they are in jail. See, Kuje prison is another challenge. We are not talking about all of these things. See, nobody has been dealt with because of that free will, is it called intervention? I mean, the terrorists invading our prison. Nobody, no single person has been dealt with. In the same country, it doesn't work like that. So if we Nigeria want to, all these international relationships that you are taking, they are saying all of these things.
So what can we make to do
I've said
to
it.
make the country sane?
I've said it. Rule of law, build the institutions, so that if I want to do anything, I don't need to know anybody.
But from a particular source, the source, credible source, says that we have, because I've asked this question, is it the institution? Is it the system?
Yeah,
or whatever?
it's a system.
I said, we have the system, we have the institutions.
You don't have a system that is working.
This person, no, I'm just like quoting this person. We have the system, we have the institution. Now that the thing there is that the people, they need to now be reorientated to follow the system or to follow the institution.
It's not orientation, sir. It takes the will of executives. I mean, the people at the hands of affairs. I mean, I'm talking about executives. If you have an executive president or governor in a state, as the case may be, who is interested in getting things right, it's just a matter of following the rule of law. But when we have a president that is even not obeying court order, what are you going to do? Now, let me tell you, you are talking about bilateral relationship and to favor the both party. Sir, recently we have a program, Brazil, Nigeria, business forum, celebrating the 200 years of Brazil. Of course, Brazil, they are projecting themselves to us. We have this, we can bring this. See, they have been bringing their grains, and we can produce even more than they do. But because they have a system, we don't have a system. A lot of money was earmarked for agriculture development, diversification of the economy, in line with my program of a better Nigeria without oil and gas. Sir, go and find out how many farmers get this money, or how many tractors do they use those money to buy? How many land do they use those tractors to plow? This money was given to cronies of all those people in charge of all this money. I have some evidence to that. So you can't build, we can't go far if that is the way to go. So this money is earmarked for this purpose and is used for the purpose. Recently, we still receive another money saved by one of the former presidents. Let's see what they are going to use that money to do. And the money is not in the budget. So they will still use it for one frivolous small time. They will say they used to do social program. They are giving the money to so that we cannot even trace. At this age and time of BVN and the rest of it, they will say they give the money in cash to some. So these are rubbish that is happening in the Nigeria state, and nobody is asking the question.